Hello, everyone, and we are live. And this is going to be my Team of the Season podcast for the football season 2020-2021, and yeah. We're just gonna wait for the panelists to come on, and then we will begin. Yes, I am very happy we won the Champions League. We're going live on Facebook. Deleted my stream, unfortunately. Doing good, man. Thank you, Doug. I'm looking for an extra panelist. DM me if you'd like to join. So yeah, man. We are European champions. Can you believe it? Euros is coming soon. Yes, it is. But England aren't doing. Let's be real. We're not gonna do anything in the Euros. Hello. So I'm just waiting for a few more panelists, and then we can begin. Hi. So, as soon as we have a few panelists, we will start our team of the season. Now, since we're going to do it in terms of a squad. And what's up, Reese?
All right.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join, and then we can begin. I didn't know you were part German.
German, Italian. I got a German and Italian family.
So you're Scottish and German. Like, who's German in your family?
My great grandparents, but it's also Italian as well. My great grandma's Italian.
Oh, sorry, I was replying to his comments.
Well, he is kind of correct. I mean, it's probably the first time a Spurs fan's ever got something right in a while. Just kidding. I like Spurs fans.
England fans are realistic. Don't listen to the media, Reese.
I don't know any realistic England fans, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I'm an England fan, okay? Anyway, I'm just connecting my AirPods.
I honestly do not see England doing anything maybe except getting out of the group. That's being honest. I don't see doing anything special.
Neither do. No, honestly, I don't. Look, the media just gives us a really bad name. It would be cool if both of us got out of the group.
I think it's not just the media though, because there are a vast majority of English fans, right, that are absolutely up their arse And every time you and I don't mean this in a horrible way, but see, every time you sing, it's coming home. Every time you're singing, it's coming home. You're going out on penalties.
I just,
that, it's just so full up yourselves.
That's what I try telling. That's what I try telling the others. They just don't seem to listen to me, though. England will get. Yeah, see, he's right.
Yeah. It's exactly what I think of you, and that's what people think. People think I've got an English agenda, right? This is so funny. I don't have an English agenda, right? I've got friends that are English. I just cannot stand the English national team. And I know a lot of English people that can't stand the Scottish national team, and it's perfectly fine with me. We have banter back and forth. But there's so many people that are so full up their arse, and I'm like, you need to be brought back down to earth.
Oh, God. I need to take this off.
Where Southgate will go wrong is picking the likes of Rashford and Sterling.
Look, I don't see this being an easy game for us. I think it's going to be
It's not going to be easy to beat Scotland. I think a lot of Ken Box is doing it because he knows I'll respond.
He's trying to wind you up. He's trying to wind you up.
Yeah, but me and Box got on. Me and Box got on really well. But in honest to God, you look at Scotland's games, right? Like the last 24 games, where even if we've lost a game, it's never been. Yeah, we've lost like 3-0, we've lost 4-0, but it only happens like once or twice. It's so rare. We don't get big beat games. Like we're actually very good in terms of like in game wise. Like we're not the best team in the world. I'll take that, but I think Scotland deserve a little bit more respect than they get.
Look, even I've been saying that.
Box always jokes with me, but I always joke with him. So
Niall, what's up, Niall? Okay.
I think you removed him. I don't know.
Oh God, sorry.
So I had the wrong day, not wrong day, wrong time. But for some reason, I had 10:30 in my head.
Right. Whoever's trying to spam me, mods, do your job.
Someone made a fake Nippon account.
Yes.
I mean, it's impressive that you can host and put that in the chat, because when I'm hosting on my channel, I can barely do two things at once, let alone doing that.
Me neither. I don't think I've ever encouraged you before now. What team do you support?
I support Plymouth Argyle, mate. Mighty Janners.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm one of these that were born in Plymouth, so I decided that Plymouth would be a good shout. To
support your local.
Yeah, support the local.
He seems to like Man United though for some reason. He always goes
Nippon, you've got it wrong there. I love Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is arguably my favourite player in the Premier League, which is why tomorrow I feel like I'm going to lose my shit. But we'll get into that one tomorrow.
Because he's not going to the Euros.
Oh yeah, that might be one of the reasons why I want to punch Southgate in the face.
I don't see a few Man United. I think there's going to be a few Man United players that will be dropped from their respective internationals tomorrow.
Really? Who?
Mm-hmm. I reckon a few. I only see maybe Rashford and Luke Shaw going in terms of for the England team. Maguire, you would expect Maguire to go, but his injury record's been absolutely shit.
Southgate will take him. Southgate will take him. He's an imbecile.
He'll be 50-50. But elsewhere will be quite questionable. Like Martial's not going to the France squad, so that's obvious.
No.
I think it's going
to be a draw. I've already said it. I think.
Look at the last time we played you guys at Wembley. It's been 5 years since we played you at Wembley, 2016, and you had to rely on a Harry Kane late goal to equalise when we scored twice, and it was 2 set pieces as well. So think about it. I mean, I was buzzing. I didn't expect us to score twice at Wembley, but
it will either be 1-0 or 0-0.
It'll be so close.
1-0 to who? 1-0 to who?
I think I'm saying England. Obviously, I'm English, and we've got Harry Kane, haven't we? So
I'm not.
When you've got someone of Harry Kane's ability and quality up front, you're always going to back your team because it's Harry Kane. Right? That man can make the most out of nothing.
Right.
I'm just frustrated because when you've got the likes of Harry Kane, arguably the best player to the most prolific scorer in God knows where. You want Trent feeding him crosses all day. I would love it with Greenwood and Trent on that right-hand side. Do you know how devastating we would be? You got Greenwood cutting in on his left to shoot with his left. Then you got Trent whipping in crosses left, right, and centre. That would be the most dangerous right wing in the Euros. I'm adamant. You've got Greenwood who can go on the outside and then cut in, and then you got Trent who's going to be bombing crosses from deep. I mean, I don't know if there's a better country of that sort of talent there.
The only ones I particularly
France,
France, Italy, Portugal. To be fair, I'm still going to say these guys as well because you can't count these guys out in tournament football. The Germans, but England have got a strong team. Even I can't deny that. We don't if Southgate messes it up with team selection.
I
think if you go to the Euros, I'd say these are the 5th or 6th strongest team at the Euros. Unbiased opinion.
We're just getting out of the group and getting knocked out. It's as simple as that.
I think you need to have a bit more faith in the English squad that we've got. I mean,
there's a difference between having faith and having delusion.
The squad isn't as bad as people like to make out. It really isn't. I mean, when you've got Harry Kane that can make absolutely something out of nothing, I have no fears of getting goals with that man on the pitch. Defensively, yeah, we're not the greatest. But
defensively is a problem for you guys, especially your goalkeeper situation as well. And you don't have a good centre-back pairing either.
Right, it'll be Pickford in goal. I think
without him. They won the World Cup without him. They won the World Cup without him. He's saying France is overrated.
To be fair, recalling Benzema, I think is a very smart decision because look at Germany as well. Germany's Joachim Löw for his final ever tournament as manager. He's recalled Hummels and he's recalled Thomas Müller, which he said he would never play them again. And he's actually went and brought 2 of those experienced players back in.
He's trying to win, isn't he? He's trying to win.
That's why I think they'll win. That's why I think the Germans will win the Euros.
It's a shame. I hope England and Scotland get out of our group, to be perfectly honest.
I hope so. I don't know.
I hate Croatia for many reasons. I'm sure you don't need me to spell them out. Why? I wonder why I don't like Croatia.
World Cup 2018 back in Russia, by any chance?
I don't care if they won off. But Nippin, I couldn't give a toss if they won fair and square.
To be fair, I've got an Italian family, but I still haven't forgiven the Italians for Euro 2008. By the way, the group stage game where we got royally screwed in the 89th minute. I've still not forgiven the Italians. By the way,
then you had our under-21s that Croatia started like basically just trying to get into a fight with. I hate Croatia with a passion, absolute passion. So
I think Box is making a fair point regarding this France squad, by the way, because you do look at some of the players they've picked, like Griezmann. To be fair, Griezmann, Varane, Lenglet, they are good players for the international teams, but the likes of Tolisso, Lamar, Rabiot, Sissoko, they're still debatable in my opinion.
Sissoko is dog shit.
Yeah, he's shit. Like that's not even a. Like any honest Spurs fan will tell you that as well. Like he is crap.
Luis is getting old as well, so if Luis is their keeper, I actually
look no further than Gigi Buffon, mate. Look no further than Gigi Buffon.
Yeah, but Nippin, there's a big difference between Hugo Luis and Buffon.
Goalkeepers in general age like fine wine.
Yeah, but Nippin, Luis has lost all of his upper body strength. Like when he's got a powerful shot going down to his left or right, he hasn't got the wrist strength. And imagine Harry Kane belting a ball at his wrist. Man is not saving that.
We're not beating France, okay? We are not beating France.
I actually, to be fair, if it was England versus France in a knockout game, you would probably, and this is, to be fair, also I would want the French to win, but you would probably tip the English purely because Harry Kane up front, he knows Hugo Lloris very well. Yeah. That's something you can exploit.
Look at Mbappe and Ben Yedder.
Ben Yedder's bollocks though. Ben Yedder's crap.
I've seen Mbappe.
I don't rate him at all.
Would you say Martial is better than Ben Yedder?
I would say Olivier Giroud is better than Ben Yedder. Easily.
The only issue of Mbappe is he's such a talent. But this Mbappe got pocketed by Axel Tuanzebe. Now, let me make that very clear. Axel Tuanzebe still hasn't even got a first-team spot in the United squad. I mean, whether you agree or disagree with it, he should. Right, Ollie is a bit of a plonker for not doing.
He should be starting centre back for us. By the way, I'm just saying he should be. I am a Man United fan, just so you know.
He has to. For me, if you don't go, so I do on my channel. I do some like data scouting. I've done my first one, which was ironically centre backs for United because it was the most needed one. And my recommendation was actually Sven Botman from Lille. Because with centre backs, what you want is them to complement each other. You don't want two of the same centre back. That's the issue of Lindelof and Maguire, which is both of them are slow, and neither of them are. I mean, Maguire is much better in an aerial duel, but Lindelof is on a different level of bullshit on that. Whereas Botman is fairly good in the air. He's quick. He's got a really good range of passing on him for a centre back. So you've got a ball carrier of Harry Maguire with Botman's passing. It makes your defence actually unbearable, especially if Luke Shaw's on Botman.
That's why I would look at Botman. Yeah. I would also consider Badiashile because he's similar, except he's just a few years younger. But the only difference is he's got a bit more pace behind him. If we are going to get a player beside Harry Maguire out, like even if they do complement, I really would like pace in there as well. If the box is right, the Italians, they are dark horses. I'm actually intrigued that Italian squad's going to be class. The Italians or the Germans are my picks to win it. But obviously Portugal are going to be interesting. I noticed a question there by Davey. He asked me a question earlier. I'm just scrolling up to read it. So he thoughts on Ryan Gauld not making the Scotland squad after just getting played a month. I'm fuming that Ryan Gauld is not in that Scotland squad because there's no fucking way that there's not a hope in hell that what's his puss should be going. John Fleck. There is no way that clown should be going there. And he used to play for Rangers. But that was a long freaking time ago when he was actually a good fielder. He is utter crap.
That comment from Davey about Greenwood, I completely agree. Greenwood should be going over Rashford.
Because he's fit. He's fit as well, and he's had a very good end to the season. Marcus Rashford, he's injury problems, and he hasn't been as of late.
Greenwood also, for me, offers a little bit more than Rashford. I know that sounds mad to say that, but Greenwood is both-footed, can play along that front line, all of it. He could play on the left, he could play on the right, he can play for a centre. He could even play as a 10 if you really want to spice things up and do God knows what. Although that would be far too attacking for Southgate, having, as you'd assume. Could you just imagine Greenwood, Mount, Foden with Kane, or Grealish in there? Like, Southgate is an utter clown.
This is why you need a little bit. You would still need a little bit of defensive solidity in there. Maybe a Calvin Phillips. Personally, I think he's England's best.
That's what Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson, if fit, are there for.
I don't think he should be going. I don't think Henderson should go because he's very. I would take him as like when Beckham went to the 2010 World Cup. He was there purely as an advisor type thing for the team. Henderson should be that. Take Phillips and Rice because they're actually fit.
I'll take all three. We've got 3 extra spots, haven't we? So we can afford to take it. We can afford to take a couple of extra injured players with the hope that at some point in the tournament they'll be available to play. Which is why I'd be picking a Maguire. Why I'd be picking a Henderson, because we've got them extra couple of 3 spots to play with. It gives us that more to play with. So I'd definitely take him because Hendo on the right covering for Trent would be a different level.
I agree.
Well, these people just won't go away, will they? God, man.
Just keep
I'm ignoring those, but I'm reading your comments and honest to God, I will remind Box of something as well. Where is it? The Italian comment, because there's so many fucking clowns. Where's that comment on the Italians? It was absolutely class. That's it. Locatelli, Sensi, Barella, Verratti, Pellegrini. You also have
Chelsea Fan TV, by the way. Just
Tonali and Zaniolo will be there as well. Zaniolo and Tonali will be in that team as well. Like, the Italians are going to have a bumped up midfield. So I reckon their midfield's going to be Tonali, Locatelli, and Barella, or it'll be
not Verratti.
Verratti will be in there, yeah. Locatelli, Barella, Verratti. That'll be their first choice midfield. Really. Verratti will play I think Verratti will play a slightly deep defensive midfield role with Locatelli, and they might play Barella further forward, or they'll play Pellegrini, an attacking midfielder. Either way, the Italians are the ones to be careful about at the World Cup, the Euros. You're going to have to be very careful, especially with Immobile and Donnarumma, like in the two most important positions, striker and in goal.
With Southgate in charge, I don't hold much hope for that, but I still
For
believe.
England, yeah.
Just about.
Look,
Yeah, normally a few glasses of wine gets me thinking we can win it.
As long as you lose to Scotland and get eliminated in the last 16, I'll be happy.
God.
That's standard.
I
It's
got
a
to be
shame that
consistent.
I'm nicer with Scotland. I actually hope they go quite far because
I think
we
we
can
could
get
get
Scot-
last 16. I think we could get last
I'm
16.
hoping we can get you in a semi because then we can actually get past the semi-finals because
I don't think either
definitely
of us are
bank on
reaching the semis, Niall.
The only
I don't
good
think
thing
either
about-
of us are-
The only good thing about our group games is like the vast majority of our group games are at Hampden Park. We only play at Wembley once, and that's against England. But we play Croatia and Czech Republic at Hampden.
This could be really beneficial actually because we're playing all our home games at Wembley. You're playing most of all of your home games in the UK.
Yeah.
Whereas Croatia and Czech Republic are going to have to start flying and jetting around Europe for their games. So
It's so funny.
in a
God,
in a
we
weird way,
underestimate-
that
Look,
could
this is what we thought. Look, this. Is there
So
any
they've
way
changed
you
it
can get
from
rid of this?
Nippon. So they changed it from Nippon Sharma to Freshie Sharma. They come up with so many awkward names for you.
so weird.
God.
But now I think the whole them having to do more travelling, them doing more travelling could benefit us in a weird
The
way.
Italians are proper on the rise again. Like their team is so much better than what it used to be. I would be a little bit worried.
The
of the
Italians were
Italians.
starting to get back to 06 Italian, weren't they? Whenever he was, they were like the whispers. They were the dark horses in 06 and went on to win it.
But
Davies
that
requested to be a mod.
016 had Filippo Inzaghi.
Filippo
Alessandro
Inzaghi, Luca Toni, Alessandro Del Piero.
Yeah.
Then you
It was
had
like
Buffon and
it
goal.
weren't
Back
their
four of Grosso, Odo. You also had Cannavaro. Who's the other centre back?
That squad though was considered to be at its like prime when it like the best chance they're going to have to win it at like the peak of their international. It was a beautiful squad to look at.
Are we on about Italy? Are we on about 2008?
06 when they won that World Cup.
I was just about to say, if it was 08, I didn't bother watching the tournament because Wally of a Brolly pissed me off that year.
Yeah,
This isn't
I
like-
was. The only thing that annoyed me is the fact that 06 World Cup is the team that wanted to win it was the team that hosted the damn thing, and they got screwed in extra time. They got screwed in extra time.
Two perfect goals. How was that?
How one thing is the Odo goal, sorry, the Grosso goal was offside, and
Was
two,
it? That was a beautiful goal. That
Grosso
big
was
goal
off.
from
Grosso
Miller.
was offside, and two, how can you justify putting on 6 minutes of added time in the last half of extra time when there was nothing to justify 6 minutes? The Germans were screwed for the as soon as extra time went in. The Germans should have had a penalty as well, by the way.
Wasn't
I would have felt
wasn't-
sorry for Germany, but they did benefit from that goal that we didn't have that we should have had. So my love for the Germans after that was pretty limited. I won't lie. Even though we definitely didn't possess.
You can't blame them for
No,
2010 though. That wasn't
look,
their fault, but they proper smashed.
Oh yeah,
them.
it was 2010.
Let's
yeah,
be
yeah.
fair. We'd have just lost 4-2 if that had gone in. That's all.
But yeah, but
They were better
than
I can still be angry even though we had actually no hope of. Even though we had no hope of winning, it was like, nah. If we got that goal, we're gonna win it. That's it.
Nippon, I'll jump in the comments. I'll do it for my phone. Make me a mod.
Yeah, all three of you, all three of you, just jump in the comments, and I'll make all three of you mods.
Just tell me the name of your actual channel so I can. Oh wait, never mind. Found it. Subscribed. Got you now. Team of the Season podcast.
Yeah.
Found it. Hold on.
I'd love
I'll
to,
jump
but
in now.
I'm actually operating off my phone and I don't have my laptop. So yeah,
Right.
Thank
so
God.
I want now,
The only I see Davies' point, like they're not like on Portugal, France's level, but to be fair, like, the Italians, they only need a single goal, and defensive wise, they are.
Nipping, I've just put hi in the chat if you want to mob me and I'll sort these assholes out.
Yeah, I'm there as well, mate.
Right.
I've blocked Freshie Sharma. Like, I've blocked him now, so don't worry about that.
Do you reckon there's a chance that France might do what the Spanish did?
No.
That only happens in the World Cup.
That was a one-off that was a one-off in my opinion.
That only happens in the World Cup.
Not really. They went Euros, World Cup, Euros. Like, they've done that. I don't think it's going to happen. France have done it before. Like, they've won the World Cup and they've won.
I thought you were talking about being knocked out of the group stage.
Nah, it's only the World Cup.
No.
Oh God, I got confused.
Well, that would be typical, I suppose, of France just to go out of the group stage after winning there. Yeah, just give it up. Give up the chase for it. It'd be interesting because I remember that happening, and and people are going to say, "Well, I've got absolutely no proof to back it up," but all I can say is take my word for it. I did turn around. I didn't predict 3, but when Spain, looking at their squad back then, I could see them winning at least 2 trophies in the next 3 tournaments or something along the lines of what I said. I didn't think they'd do it.
2008 and 2010 annoyed me. Like 2008 and 2010, purely like 2010, it was a single goal that beat the Germans in the Euros when the Germans were the better team anyway. And then 2010, it was the exact same thing in the semi-finals. Carlos Puyol's single header knocked the Germans out, and the Germans were the better team in the tournament. So like both times, the Germans were the better team. They got eliminated. Fortunately, 2014 came around, and I actually got that spot on.
I actually wanted you to win that tournament. After we didn't even make it out the group.
Euro 2012 final was an absolute whitewash.
We actually qualified and couldn't get anything from. I'd rather at least if that was the group it was in with Steve McLaren, you know what I mean? It'd have been excusable. But Jesus, that was an embarrassing one.
Can we not talk about Steve McLaren? That makes my mental health go to a different level.
I think anybody who's had the misfortune to have Steve McLaren as a manager has the same issues with him.
We had him as an assistant in '99. He got us a treble, but he never had any real power. He was just told to sit there in his arse.
Well, but assistant Fergie is a little bit different than him leading the bloody nation. It's as bad.
The fact that he took over England, that was absolutely funny.
Oh, bloody hell.
I've got him. It's all right. I've got him. I think Germany will finish. I think in terms of the Group F, it'll be France will win the group. Germany will come second, and I think the Portuguese will finish third. But the Portuguese will go through as a third best team.
I will say England will win a tournament in the next 10 years. I'll put money on it.
I don't think we will. Niall.
We will. You look at the young players coming. But manage him, whatever. Like, we'll probably end up sacking him soon enough, and we'll bring in Potter. Literally, Graham Potter would be absolutely immense at England, but we will win a tournament in the next 10 years. You look at the young centre backs we've got coming through. That's class. They are class players. I look at Ben Godfrey. He's decent. Then you look at our attack: Foden, Mount, Greenwood, Saka. Like, we've got unspeakable amount of attacking. Declan Rice. We're going to have one of the best squads in the world within about 5 to 6 years. And don't forget, most of
the so-called golden era couldn't win anything.
We still have a yes man as manager, though.
Yeah, but we had
Sven. Has that sort of though. That's the problem.
We had Sven. We had Sven. That's what, Southgate? He's a clown. I've always said Southgate's a clown. But if we sack Southgate and we bring in a Graham Potter, you look at what Graham Potter has done with Brighton. And mind you, this is a Brighton that can. But this is a Brighton that hasn't got actually a striker. They're shocking. You look at how Potter sets up, and I don't believe XG completely, but his XG is ridiculously high for a team in 17th. You think that XG, but them tactics around a Mount, a Foden, a Greenwood, Saka, like a Declan Rice, Holding, like all of these players with his tactics, they go on to do amazing things. We win tournaments. Because he sets up perfectly. The thing is, we cannot continue to sit back and soak up pressure. We haven't got the players for it anymore.
Yeah,
No, that's true. I mean, the one thing that England do have annoyingly in common with the Premier League is they're like the Liverpool of the international circuits. We won one once, and then we keep saying it's our year every time one rolls around, and we always underachieve and never get there.
I reckon you're a bit more than that. I reckon you're Benfica. I reckon you're the Benfica of international football. And funnily enough, I done that to Guardiola the other night as well, and I proper ripped up my shreds with that tweet.
I did a stream.
I think England will probably win it with a team that nobody expects us to win it. That'll be the case because there'll be no pressure on them. That's the thing. If we put out a team that most people go, nah, that's not even going to get out of the groups, watch that be the one that at least makes it to a final. That's what it kind of needs.
I generally feel for you nipping with all these fucking comments because these names are absolutely disgusting.
So we're going to win it this year then.
Although it just says all that people do have poor grammar because they're missing an apostrophe in the IM, like they're missing an apostrophe. I mean, that's very poor grammar.
Yeah, it is poor grammar. I mean, the ending is
the ending is disgusting, but it's still poor grammar.
It is very poor grammar. I will say that.
This is the same.
Why do you get all this? I mean, what exactly?
I don't know what I've done. I've seen so many people spam, like. Oh God! I've seen so many people get spammed.
Just think of it. Just think of it as good views. Think of it as views. You're getting more views out of this.
No doubt in my mind, England win the Euros. FIFA 21, maybe. Like there'll be an update for the Euros coming very soon.
He knows ball. I agree with him. We're winning the Euros.
I honestly do not see England win anything like in my lifetime.
The way it will happen is I will continue to say we'll win the Euros. Then I'll be singing all the songs. I'll be listening to 3 lines, and I'll be saying it's coming home. Then we get knocked out of one of the knockouts, and then I'll be like, nah, shit happens, and then we'll move back to the Premier League.
That was an accident.
So anyway, Nippin, you've brought us here for a YouTube show. We're 30 minutes in. We're chatting banter about England. They'll win the Euros. What are you here for?
Okay.
Besides pizza.
I was trying to move it on to that, but I was just going to let you guys finish. Anyway, team of the season. We're going to do it in terms of a squad, not just the starting 11.
Oh, you wanted to like a full like starting 11 and what a subs bench?
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be starting 11 subs bench.
Yeah, this is how I'm doing it.
I'm guessing the subs will be like honourable mentions, won't they? Like close but no cigar.
I was got a bit scared then. I thought you wanted me to do a full 25-man squad. I was just about to say full
25-man squad. I'd be like, see ya. No one deserves that.
Can't be mad.
Okay, here we are.
I agree with Box, by the way. I'm having Maguire in this team.
I mean, it's a shout.
Fuck John Stones.
He's not making the starting 11.
Well,
he's the second best centre back in the league.
Nippin, this is going to be a democratic vote, right?
Yeah, play of the season though. I'm telling you now, play of the season because we're going off the season. Virgil van Dijk does not get anywhere near this. He goes on the bench.
Good man.
He has to go on the bench. He's not getting that starting 11.
He doesn't even get into the bench, mate.
Okay.
I mean,
no, he's in his coffin. He's in his coffin.
He did nothing this season. But Nippin, this is going to be.
Just remember that when we're thinking of players.
This is going to be a democratic vote, right? You're not going to overrule.
Just remember, Van Dijk has conceded 7. Maguire's conceded 6. There's a clear winner here.
Okay. Right. He's making. Okay. So we're starting with goalkeeper.
Ederson.
I can't.
I want to say that. I can, and I'm just going to chuck out one name and see what
Martinez.
You guys think. Emi Martinez. I think what Emi has done with Tyrone Mings in front of him is a much bigger achievement than what Ederson has done with Diaz.
That's actually a very fair point. Actually,
it's not a bad shout.
But to be fair, Martinez has had Konsa and Mings, and we all know what Mings is like as a footballer. I'd go Martinez just because I think wasn't he 2 clean sheets off Ederson, and you look at the team he's playing with.
It was
I
close
think-
to him. It was definitely
Mm.
close to him.
I think Martinez.
I'd actually, even though he plays for Villa, I'd actually prefer to see Martinez in goal because I'd like us
You
to
actually-
start
I'm gonna
this
agree
off
with
on
that. Yeah,
a
I'm
on a
actually
good
going to agree with
foot,
that. hmm
I don't
I
want
think
to follow
he
the
deserves
rest
it.
in a way.
The only other
Mm.
goalkeeper you could potentially give a mention to is maybe Kasper Schmeichel. I think he deserves it because he's actually had a very good season. Like, and he was
Yeah.
the fact that you stayed in the top 4 all season, bar the last game of the season. Like, there was
So
times
what
where you
you're
could
saying-
consider he was going to have a costly error, but he didn't. But I would
I also
probably take
wanna-
Martinez over him.
I also want to give an honourable shout to Edouard Mendy at Chelsea. I think he's been incredible this season.
So what
yeah,
do
my
we
vote, my vote is going to go on Martinez. That's my vote.
Okay, so we're going with Martinez then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Stick him in there.
Yeah,
we could
I'm
always
cool with
stick Edison on the reserves with a backup goalkeeper, or Casper if you want. I'd be happy to go with Casper for obvious reasons as the
So
backup.
I've just saved United fans having a look at Edison in goal. You're welcome. Um,
I know you've actually made me happy as well. I don't
What
want to
can
go
I
for the
say?
obvious choice. That's the annoying thing.
Yeah.
Martinez.
Thanks for
Just the
saving
same bland teams.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna unfortunately make a case for probably a very popular choice of one of the centre backs, and that's Wesley Fofana, and that's not even bias. There's not a show on here around that I haven't done that. Everybody doesn't have that guy in his team.
Wait,
He's
what,
been
what
class this year.
formation? Wait. What formation are we playing?
Stick
I'm
with
Shall I
happy.
change it?
Yeah, I'm happy with that formation.
4-3-3
I mean,
or a
it's-
4-2,
it's
4-3-3 or a
what-
4-2-3-1, just like based on how things are. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot. That's what most teams go for, isn't it? It's only, I think, Liverpool that really play over 4-3-3.
In
Is that-
Chelsea, in City as well, yeah. But Chelsea play a back 3 now, which is
Yeah,
Still
we play a back
good.
three.
I think just because of how certain players are in certain positions at the moment, I think this is easier. Like, because
Yeah.
number 10, I don't care what anyone says. Like, even though he didn't score in that Europa League final, I would still say number 10 is Bruno
Alright.
Fernandes,
I don't think that's even up for a debate. Are we doing right back next?
right back. I want to say I would. There's a fair few in there. Like, obviously, I would say like Wan-Bissaka's had a good season, but if I had to tip someone, I would say Kufal from West Ham.
Mm. I mean,
Okay.
Bad shout.
Reece is
Can-
Kufal,
Cancelo's been really good.
Cancelo.
It's a shame that James Justin got injured because I think
Yeah.
James Justin would be in here. But that
Would
shout
you be a
out.
right back or left back?
I'd be fine to put him in there, but unfortunately he got that injury.
Yeah,
What
it's
about
the same
right
similar with
back or
Harvey
left back?
Barnes. Right back, I'd have put him at.
Was he playing right?
I
What
think
about
that's where
Timo
James
Castagna?
Justin is.
More of a
Castagna's
wing back.
been all right, but he's kind of had a bit. You see, the problem is with our injuries, we've had too many rotated in and out of that position over the summer.
Mm.
If I was going to go for a left or right back and put a shout in from my club, it'd be Thomas, and I wouldn't put him ahead of a lot of options on the left. To be honest with you, he's a good player, but he's not that good. I agree.
Yeah.
If Justin had been fit all season, I'd argue tooth and nail, but he's just not been fit enough all season
Yeah.
to.
That's why I went for Kufal, because what he's done for West Ham, like he got them into that top 4, like with his defence and his attacking performances all year. He's been so consistent, and I agree with Box. He's been an absolute amazing buy, cheap as well. Like what a very smart signing by David Moyes. It's been one of his best all season.
I'm picking between the three, and I'm just tipping it to Kufal. I think Cancelo has been, look, no one can argue Cancelo's been brilliant.
Mhm.
Wan-Bissaka has been very good. The only reason I don't go Wan-Bissaka is his defensive positioning sometimes is
Oh, don't
Yeah.
remind me.
woeful.
I mean,
Well,
the reason
best.
he gets referred to as the spider is because he has to make up a lot of ground with his lunges in to get blocks, and that as impressive as it is, I'm not saying it's not that he has that reach on him to be able to
It's
do it.
not good. It's still not
Yeah.
a good thing to have on your. as a
Because
reputation.
if someone like Traore is on that side, or Harvey Barnes, the only reason I say them two is because I know they're predominantly rapid. Even Sterling, if someone like that has him, then you're absolutely screwed. You know, he's getting past him every day of the week.
Yeah.
I know that.
I'd be happy to put Sufal in there because we've got to put a bit of credit on West Ham's name this season.
Mm.
I don't think I saw. I'm a big lover of doing predictions, and I love watching YouTubers that do them. And a lot of them had West Ham down at 16th, 17
I had them at
even
10.
relegation.
11.
I was one
I
of
had
them
them
that
at
had them
11.
down.
I had them at
Yeah,
11.
I didn't have them in the top half, and certainly not Europa League football. I
No.
think there's a few in here that deserve to make this team.
I didn't have
Yeah.
them as Europa League contenders, but I had them as the team to finish 10th, like to complete the top 10.
Yeah, I think
I
that's the
thought they could
highest.
do it.
And that's the highest I probably saw them going around as 10th, and that was
Mhm.
like some of them were even West Ham actual fans and YouTubers, like weren't even putting them top half. So
And
I think a lot of their players.
that's no disrespect to West Ham either, because the way they've been recent years, they've been topsy-turvy. I think 10's generous after a season they just had where they just survived relegation.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, I'm happy to go Kufala right back.
Right. Who are we going? So we're going with Kufal at right back.
Kufal, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. I'm just going to chuck my centre backs out there now and say Maguire and Diaz.
Okay, Maguire
Just
and
chucking that out
Diaz.
there.
No, I'm
Okay,
going.
that's my mistake.
I'm agreeing with Diaz, but
What the rest of the panel says.
I'm going to agree with Diaz because I think that's a very strong case. There's not really much you can fault him for. He's completely shored Man City up. But I'm sorry, I'm sticking by what I said. I'm going to throw Fofana out there. The guy's got a footballing brain of a mid-30-year-old. He's brilliant.
So we're all agreeing on Diaz. Now we just need to agree on his partner.
Mm.
I know Maguire's had a drastic improvement this season, but I'm still saying Fofana. I don't know where I know where you stand on that route, but
I'll put it this way: if Fofana doesn't get into first 11, he definitely gets on the bench. That's not even a debate. If he doesn't make the starting 11, he definitely gets on the bench. That's for sure.
Look, we're going by what the panel says. Like,
so we've got one vote each. So I voted Maguire. Brad has voted for Fofana. So it's down to you, United fan.
Reese, it's down to you, Reese.
Fofana starting 11, Maguire on the bench.
Crikey.
Okay, so...
And that means left back is Luke Shaw because nobody comes close.
I mean, was that even going to be... Was that
no,
even
to
going
be
to be
fair, I was already going to... You took the words right out my mouth, to be honest with you. I was going to say Luke Shaw has to go left back. Not just for the improvement, but he's completely showing why he was originally invested in and why he had the potential to be a great... And that injury as well, taking everything that's come on in his career. He could have easily ended up being out of Old Trafford, playing down at the lower end of the Premier League squad and going down divisions.
He nearly lost his leg. I don't think people appreciate how bad his injury was because he developed blood clots in his leg. Like this lad, at the age he was when he broke his leg, double leg break, to nearly lose his leg.
He was 21 at the time. 4 or 5 years ago, yeah. No, would have 2015-16 season, yeah, 5 years ago. So he would have been 21 when he had a double leg break. And he's came back from all that, and he still gets disrespected. He still gets abused. He still gets called fat. He gets all that. And this season, he's proven them all wrong. And I hope next season he goes and does something better. He lifts a trophy and gives them the finger to all those clowns that have abused him.
Yeah,
I need to move my laptop somewhere.
Hell,
I've only got 12% battery left.
This is why you must always have a charger on you.
I do have a charger on me. I'm at a hotel.
Alonso, no chance. What an overrated piece of crap.
Look, I want him as far... I'd drive him to the nearest...
Chelsea need a whole new left-sided altogether because Chilwell is crapping off.
Yeah.
Chelsea fans are finally learning the frustration Leicester fans had with Chilwell.
He has
He had a good Champions League final, I'll give him that. He had a good Champions League final, but the man is shit altogether.
Yeah, and granted, mate, he has games like that. He had games like that for us where he's on the ball. It's just the fact that the other 19% of the season, he gets to the halfway line, gets stage fright, and turns back round.
Mm-hmm. He's a pussy.
Davey, let's not use fraudulent comments like Maguire is a fraud. Let's not do that, mate.
Maguire isn't a fraud. Like, the fact that the man has actually improved his defence,
you look at,
says it all.
The best way to look at it is compare United's defence pre-Maguire injury to the shambles that we see right now, which is Eric Bailly absolutely stinking up the joint, arguably the worst centre-back I've seen in a long time. And I actually put Lindelof above Bailly. There's madness behind that.
Someone sees my opinion. That's absolutely fantastic. Lindelof's a good player, but the fact is, like, he's never really. He's a converted centre back from defensive midfield. Like, if the man had a little bit of strength behind him, I guarantee you'd be such a good defensive midfielder because he was perfect there for Benfica. Just to put him as centre back.
Defensive midfielder. I didn't know he was a defensive midfielder.
In his youth days, in his first 2 seasons at Benfica before he moved, he was a defensive midfielder.
To be fair, he could probably still do that job now if you look at the range of passing Lindelof has. It wouldn't. Do you know what? If Ollie was to do a madness and move, let's say you don't get like a Declan Rice, and Ollie goes, screw it, I'll bring in Botman and put Lindelof as DM. Firstly, United fans are gonna cry. They're gonna cry. And then it might genuinely work, and then Ollie will be classed as a god.
I did suggest that a while back to put Lindelof into defensive midfield because that's the problem with we had that same problem with Daley Blind. The man was fantastic as a defensive midfielder, and then Van Gaal and all that decided, now let's just move him into 3 separate positions and fuck him up. When he brought him in as a defensive midfielder for a 4-2-3.
Van Gaal was so strange.
Do you think Louis Van Gaal had Dutch bias in him?
No.
Oh.
He only had 2 Dutch players in his... Well, because he sold Van Persie too early, but in terms of what he had, he only made 2 Dutch signings. Lindelof, Daley Blind and Memphis Depay. He only made 2 Dutch signings.
I think the only thing you can quiz Van Gaal on was his entire attitude towards the players. It just didn't seem to work. His attitude just didn't seem to work. You know, it's why I actually think Ollie isn't doing a bad job.
You restricted the team too much, which was annoying. You could have made that team still possession football, but he could have made that team play quicker with the ball, and we would have been much more dangerous.
Yeah,
but he restricted us.
Unfortunately, I just don't think he suited the English league. But that happens. That happens. He's still a class manager. Sure. Just some of them don't fit the English philosophy.
It's the same with players that come over from Premier League. Some of them just don't fit it.
I agree.
And it's not because they're a bad player either. It's because they just simply don't fit the league.
I mean, I still know some Leicester fans that still bark on and rave at the point where we got rid of Henri Kramaric, who's been banging them in for Hoffenheim. It's like people don't seem to understand that. Yes, he is a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but he's in the league that suits him. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's with managers. It's exactly the same. You're right. Some managers, that they spend so long in a country and adapt to a style of format of play that they're used to training players, not just managing players differently, but training them differently.
I agree.
Haven't some ex-players said that, like in countries like France and that, when they go over there, they get Christmas off? It's like really bizarre to them because obviously in England they don't get Christmas off. It's like France and Germany or something. I might be wrong with the leagues.
France, Italy, Germany, Spain. You get a winter break. You get a good you get a good winter break up here as well. You get like 3 weeks up here.
We force them to play on Boxing Day. It's brilliant.
I know.
Yeah.
If they had a proper break, the European players here would actually do so much better in the knockout stages. Like European.
It's okay. We could be harsh and make them play on. We could be harsh and make them play on Christmas Day like we used to.
I need to. I'm just moving some of. I left 3 of my stuff over there. I just need. Sorry, it's just that I'm in a public.
In the meantime, we'll figure out your defensive midfielders. I think
it's gonna be McFred, isn't it? Best double pivot in the league, isn't it? I am being heavily sarcastic. If anyone doesn't know, I don't genuinely think.
If I was to go CDM, it's caught between. Potentially 3 or 4.
Going Rice.
Box has mentioned Gundogan, but I would say Rice is one of them. He's had a fantastic season. The other one,
Souček, he's had an incredible season.
I would say Rice and don't wanna.
Could you imagine if we went Rice and Souček for a double pivot? Because
I think Rice and Kante have been the best 2 all season.
No, I'm sorry. I don't get the hype behind Rice. I don't get it.
I don't particularly rate him as highly as everyone else does. I don't rate him as highly as everyone else does. But he's had a fantastic season.
He has had a fantastic season.
I mean, my issue with this is I've only ever seen two raved players about this position. This is one of the positions that I always find myself saying it's one of the positions that you don't hear a lot of it mentioned on the telly or the radio or have you listened to your games. You never really hear a central defensive a central defensive player's name mentioned as a lot, and that's normally a good sign because it means he's either not having a lot to do or he's doing his job well enough that he's not on the ball long enough. And two of the best I find of that, and people are going to say I'm biased, but I'd say it's Kante and Ndidi. I just don't get the hype behind Rice. I understand that he's a good player, but I think he's also at his level.
I don't rate him as highly as everyone. I don't rate him as highly as
if we're doing it on Team of the Season,
rate him up as the best thing going. He's not.
If we're doing it on Team of the Season, Declan Rice has to be in.
I can tell you two English midfielders better than Declan Rice: Calvin Phillips, James Ward-Prowse. They're both better midfielders than Declan.
You had one of them going really well, then you mentioned Ward-Prowse.
No.
You think Rice is better than Ward-Prowse?
Yes, I do.
Position wise, yeah, like Ward-Prowse, like he isn't really a defensive midfielder, but if you play him as a central, if you just play him as a central midfield role, then he is better than Rice. But
right, who are we putting in DM then?
If we're basing it off Team of the Season,
Kante's one of them in a heartbeat.
If we're basing it off Team of the Season, Rice has to be in there. He's had an incredible season for West Ham. He's been so pivotal to West Ham's defensive structure.
I tell you what, if you're going for Rice, then hands down, I'm sorry, I can't debate it, but Tielemans is that other midfielder there. Yuri Tielemans has by far been one of the best midfielders going in that division, and if not,
you're picking Tielemans over Bruno.
Not attacking midfield, absolutely not.
Defensive.
Oh, what? Defensive. So you're taking? Oh, what? Take Kante out and put in Tielemans?
You could put
Tielemans.
You could put Tielemans beside Kante, but there's no way Tielemans is getting ahead of Bruno. I'm sorry, but
no,
come on.
No, that's what I'd go with. If you're not going
to, this is a democratic one.
If you're going to go through the whole depth,
I would have Tielemans beside Kante. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm not against that.
I'm happy to say, being as you two both like Rice, to put Rice on the bench when it comes to it. I'm happy to do that. But
I don't particularly like him, but I know he's had a great season. That's just something.
I'm not defining he's not had a good season, but I think he's also at his limit. I think that would be it. I think this is one of them where he has the potential to go on and prove me wrong, but I just got a feeling that when he makes that big money move, it'll be a complete Wilfried Zaha. I think he'll end up making the wrong choice and getting in a side that he doesn't get in as much, and then he'll end up going back to a West Ham.
I think Rice needs to go to United. As brutal as it sounds, United need a DM. Rice can do it. He's better than McTominay and Fred put together. If I'm United, Pogba's probably going. I'll just quickly say this before we obviously do our vote. If I'm United, I have a future double pivot of Rice and Van der Beek. It suits perfectly for United.
Yeah, maybe Van der Beek would have a bench buddy then, because that's all he's doing at the moment at bloody United.
No, I think if Pogba goes and you bring in Declan Rice, I think you can play Van der Beek.
I think you'd get a better quality player for the money you spend on him, unless Man United spend ridiculous on Rice if they sold Pogba, because I don't think they'd make the mistake of paying like 60, 70 million for him. I think Rice is 40 million top end.
So who are we putting in attacking 50. Mid? I know Reece wants Bruno, but it's a panel decision.
Oh, it's easily Bruno.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if people want to call him Penaldes or whatever they want to call him. It doesn't matter.
Bruno then.
Did you know that Frank Lampard scored 10 penalties in his biggest scoring season?
Exactly.
But we don't want to talk about that because it doesn't quite fit the agenda. It's okay. Gerrard scored 9 goals in his highest score, 9 penalties in his highest scoring, but again, doesn't quite fit the agenda.
And penalties,
because they're scoring goals, mate.
I was just about to say, go ask Man City how difficult it is to go score a penalty because they just cannot do it.
What about this? What about Simone Zaza? Ask Simone Zaza how difficult it is to score a penalty.
Ask Aguero. Man tried.
Do you remember that, Reece? You must remember that, Reece.
I watched that game. I was laughing my ass off.
That's mad.
Did you ever see the seagull meme that followed it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, they were funny. That's
Davies-
another one who's bad at penalties is Riyad Mahrez. He missed a few for Leicester, and he's had some stinkers
Lookman is
from Man
crap
City.
as well. Lookman's crap at penalties as well.
Davies' last comment.
Oh no, that
Pogba
was the
should play
world's
off the
best
left.
penalty I've ever seen. It was hilarious.
I don't get this last comment from Davey. Pogba should play on the left permanently with Donny in the pivot with Fred.
I don't like, even though he's been out there very well lately, I do not. Bruno
Also,
is
I
not
don't-
the most overrated player in the league. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
I also don't think Pogba
Not
will be at
season,
United
but-
for very long. I think Pogba goes very soon. I just
end up
don't
going.
see it.
There's a chance
I-
that there's so many reports, but I think it's all talk bollocks that they want to do a swap because Allegri's gone back to Juventus. It's going to be like Ronaldo's swap for Pogba. I don't see that happening, but
I don't see
there's
that
a lot of
happening.
media talk about this.
Just cash in on him. Just cash in on Pogba. I don't think
I don't know how
As
much
much-
we'll get for him, to be honest.
probably 50, 60 million. It's last year contract, isn't it? So it's not going to be overly high. Just cash him in. Go get yourself a defensive midfielder. You've got Donny, who I know isn't as good as Bruno, but what Donny can offer you in that double pivot behind Bruno is incredible because Donny will look for them forward passes. He'll look to break the lines. So I just think Pogba goes, but I disagree with keeping Fred. I mean, just you ought to sell Fred if you even can. If there is even if there is even a club that will buy Fred, just let him go.
Okay,
Like-
we have another panelist joining us, by the way.
Who?
Luca. It was initially
The Arsenal fan.
He
Oh, they'll be here to talk about his gold trophy next.
he won't. He's quite level-headed.
No, but can we quickly swap Joe Willock into the team just so he thinks an Arsenal player's got in there?
I'd rather not.
No Arsenal player deserves a mention.
No Arsenal players getting in.
No, I've
So-
been joking, saying that Arsenal's player of the year was Willock at Newcastle.
So
No, it's true.
Are we doing right wing next?
I'd assume so.
Who the hell are we putting on right wing?
Mahrez.
Oh God, no.
The only, I can't think of any. To be fair,
I
he's one of
I
them.
can only think of Salah, really.
Oh,
I don't know. I think from his usual standards, Salah's been off the boil a bit this
Well, yeah,
season.
that's what I'm thinking, but I can't really think of many right wingers that have had good seasons.
No one's really shone on that side of the
I know-
field, have they?
I know Greenwood has had a fantastic end of the season, but my lord, and I love Greenwood. I am fully Mason Greenwood FC,
yeah.
but his start of the season was on a different level. But again, as I keep saying, context is needed. He lost his best mate. The Daily Mail were racially abusing him, and God knows what.
Every fucking day as well.
Oh, it was so bad. I commented on Twitter. I was like, I wonder. I asked everyone to make a comparison. I was like, why has Foden got off scot-free and Greenwood has not? I was like, I'm sorry for asking an obvious question. I didn't realise I had to look at skin colour in the year 2021.
It's ridiculous. The annoying thing is Phil Foden at the time he had a girl. He was in a
Still
long-term
does.
relationship and he had a child.
He's got
So-
a kid as well.
Has a
Like,
child,
it's
sorry.
madness.
And he
madness.
got off scot-free. It's because Greenwood's younger and he's black. Like, it was a complete media
yeah.
agenda against him, and it's absolutely disgusting.
Mhm.
Like, the Daily Mail
And
should have been
And
destroyed.
Southgate did not protect him at all. I
No,
know
he's
Southgate
flung him
goes.
in there.
I know Southgate goes. Oh, well, look, I've brought in Greenwood. It shows we don't have a problem. Well, you
I think Southgate's
selected.
a racist.
He fed him
Well,
at
yeah,
he fed him at the firing line because they didn't even protect him over the Maguire questions either. Like,
Yeah.
they left him completely fucked.
They hung him
Ollie
out.
We're
was
getting to
fuming.
that. We're getting to that.
He'll be up
Sh-
front,
sh-
absolutely. Harry Kane's
Ollie
definitely
was
up for me.
Ollie was utterly.
You know what? Let's
fuming
just
about
put in
that.
there. Let's just put in there.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
It's not like anyone can really debate that.
There isn't
No.
really anybody else. Like,
The
You can-
only way I'd slightly debate it, and it's only for the bench, and that's only because he did it in about 3 months. Scored about 16 goals in 3 months of being Iheanacho, and that'd only be for slight banter because I wouldn't even move him in at all. It's Kane all the way. Whether he's won trophies or not, as much banter as you give him, the guy keeps scoring. He keeps winning the Golden Boot. That's impressive on its own.
Even though he's had a poor season, I would still have maybe Rashford as a left wing purely because he had 21 goals and assists. Like he had 21 goals and he had 15 assists.
Yeah.
Like even though he's had an injury per season, he's had goals wise and stats wise, he's been absolutely phenomenal. I would have him out on the left hand side.
I'm happy to put Rashford on the left. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
It's the bloody
right side.
Yeah,
the right side. I'm trying to figure out, but I would have even like Son's had a great season. I won't forget Son. But in terms of like what Rashford's done, even when he's been injured with multiple injuries, and he's had a bit of a poor form. The man's stats all season, like he's had a fantastic season. Like his numbers keep improving.
So if Rashford goes on the left, I'm thinking Chelsea. Mason Mount, hasn't he been playing sort of right inside forward / right cam / whatever the hell Tuchel's doing?
Him, Foden, they've been all over the wings all season, like the two of them.
Would anyone have an objection? Oh, I think that one. No, on the left is Rashford, isn't it? Like
that's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, Rashford on the left. I'm thinking for the right, and I want to get what you guys think. I think
I'm trying to figure out the right hand side. It's been so difficult.
Got a shout because he's played there a lot for Tuchel, and he's obviously Chelsea's player of the year. I think he's had a great season.
I would be more happier to go with either Mount or Foden and as an inverted right winger than the right winger as an option, because as good as Mahrez has been at times, he poses the same problem. And Man City fans will tell you, when he's not there, they have 10 men. That's why he's on the bench. That's why he doesn't start every week.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I agree with that. I think that's very fair. I agree with that.
For my vote for the right, I'm gonna say Mason Mount. I think he's had a great season.
Yeah. I would probably I would probably have Mason Mount on the bench. I'd probably tip Phil Foden. I think he's had, even like despite the media bollocks, I think he's had a better season.
See, I disagree. I think Mount has gone.
Mount has done fantastic, though. I'm not going to disagree with that.
I feel like he's gone under the radar. I think he's gone, whereas the media have overly hyped Foden. I think Mount has sort of snuck in there, especially under Tuchel. I think Mount has sort of got in there quite.
Good to have Foden on the bench then and play Mount on the right hand side.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'm not against that.
Could do that then. Mount on.
I would go with that. The only thing I would say about Foden is I would agree is he's probably been chucked into the limelight a bit. I mean, in the nicest way, Man City are the media darlings, aren't they? So there was always going to be more fuss made. It's funny how Foden doesn't get the same grief as Mount gets from fans where they say, "Oh, he's Southgate's favourite. He's Southgate's," and and obviously Lampard when he was in charge was saying, "Oh, he's his favourite."
He's proven under Tuchel.
Yeah, he's good.
He's also Tuchel's favourite player. So how many managers does he?
I resent that comment. Like you can.
Davey,
I'm fine saying Rashford over Goose, but he's not
Rashford.
Nah,
the panel is.
The panel. I fucking hate that name.
The panel is making the decisions. I'm just going with the flow.
I think calling him Rashford is a bit rude.
Grealish, I don't know how long he's been out for, but he's had a great season. Yeah. I won't dispute that.
He's had a good season, but
he's been out for so bloody long.
Yeah, this is team of the season, not who do we think is the best left, because there's players in here that would have not got into this team if it was, like we said earlier, i.e. if this was our best Premier League players, fit or not, we'd probably have the likes of Justin and Van Dijk in this team. We've got to go off the season, and Jack Grealish, as good as he's been, hasn't been fit enough.
I'd have Jack Grealish on the bench as well, though. I'd have Foden and Grealish on the bench. I would have them both on the bench.
Okay, so who are we going for on the
Mason Mount
on the right
hand side?
Mason Mount.
Mount seems like the best shout.
He's had a great season. It's hard not to. He's been brilliant this season.
Manager.
None of them.
I actually want to say Thomas Tuchel. I think you look at when he came in, Chelsea were 9th or 10th. They were utter abysmal. What he's gone on to do with that squad, and And again, this is without a striker that knows the offside ball and where the back of the net is. I actually think Tuchel needs a good shout for this. He might not win it. I think it's between Tuchel and Moyes. That's where I sit.
I'd go for a shout on Brendan, despite what happened on the last day of the season. I still think we've had a hell of a season. His development, the squad. To take that squad that completely fell apart on the wheels completely came off last season, and that squad. I remember when that last happened to this club.
I agree with Box as my manager of the season. To be honest, I actually say David Moyes.
That's fair, but my argument for that would be the reason I say Brendan is that team fell apart last season. We all know, and you all probably came along and threw some banter my way. We won 4 of our last 14 games. We were abysmal. And that squad, being young, nurturing what it was, the last time that happened to our club fell apart that badly from having such a good first half of the season, a certain scumbag Peter Taylor was in charge and we went down.
The only reason
we got relegated the following season, we didn't even go up. This year, we come back.
The only reason I wouldn't give it to Rodgers is because, again, that end of the season, I know injuries, and I've been the first to back up for Rodgers here. That 4-0 to Newcastle, like, you're needing win. You just need like a win to get.
Yeah, but Chelsea and West Brom, it was like that for all the teams in that top 3 this season.
Shall we give a mention to Mikel Arteta? For me is David Moyes, but it's up to you guys. I would say Moyes personally.
I'm surprised you haven't picked Ole as well, to an extent.
So who are we going for? I think David Moyes. Yeah, I'll go David Moyes.
Let's go David Moyes then.
That's my vote. I don't know about the rest of the panel.
Okay, I'd definitely vote Moyes.
Well, I'm getting outvoted on it, but I would put out Brendan Rodgers just because I think people might say, "Oh, well, the last day you bottled it," but how many teams below us are
I think
going?
You've got to look at circumstance as well. You could measure it differently. So you could time on one scale, you've got a man who's in the top 4 all season, and he got an FA Cup trophy, versus a man who is in charge of a team that was tipped to go tipped to be in the relegation battle, but ended up finishing.
But West Ham were only tipped to go down because of their past records of having good squads and somehow
they still wrote off David Moyes. They still wrote him off. Like a lot of people wrote him off. I think the fact he got top 6 says it all.
But I have a question for you guys. Like, if you're saying Tuchel has gone from say 9th to barely a top 4 finish, why isn't Klopp in it?
I've not considered Klopp once. Like this season,
the only reason I haven't considered Klopp, I think it's because it is Klopp's fault that they were in the position they were in, not because of the injuries, but because he decided to start moving Fabinho and Henderson at centre back. That was why they fucked up, because they lost the midfield back.
Yeah. And Klopp was saved by his top 3. If them 3 had got crocked the way Van Dijk did, they would have been celebrating not being in Europe like Arsenal. That's all they'd have been celebrating this season.
They'd be celebrating not qualifying for the Conference League.
Oh yeah, I don't think Klopp or Liverpool did anything. They've been saved by the shit. You know when you say sometimes it's quality that pulls you through, not the actual manager. I agree with you. I think Klopp's behind a lot of things that went wrong for Liverpool this season.
Yeah.
The reason, granted they somehow got up to 3rd, but again, I think that was the top 3 hit form and again escaped injuries.
Do you think either Klopp or Tuchel will manage Germany one day?
No.
Yes.
I can't rule Tuchel out of going there at some point.
Tuchel would make sense. Klopp, 100% no.
I think Jurgen does it. I reckon Jurgen at the end of this contract takes a year out, then takes a German job. It's just I don't see
him doing it purely for the break in football. Klopp likes a heavy schedule and he likes the work rate. I don't think he would enjoy an international. He likes to be involved all the time. It's the same with Guardiola and the same with Mourinho.
I think after Liverpool and all the circumstances in him losing his mother and all of that, I think he probably takes a year out, and then I think he does go into international management, maybe for 4 or 5 years, recharge batteries before one last push at
you look at Yogi Low though, like he was the assistant manager at Klinsmann from 2004 onwards. And then he took the main job after Klinsmann got sacked after World Cup on home soil in 06, and he's been the Germany manager for 15 years. Like, the man is going to end up taking a break, but once you get international management, you could be stuck in there for a long time based on how well you do. And that could just be going far in a tournament but not win it. You can still be kept in your job.
He could have been sacked after the last World Cup performance, but because he had won one World Cup before that, and the state of the German national team right now isn't the greatest. So I think they wanted him to rebuild it in some way, but I don't think he has really been able to do that.
I think he's changed it around to a degree, but Flick will take that squad forward.
Just about to say, you got Hansi Flick. It depends on how long
Flick's
he
winning
goes
the
in
World Cup. I'm calling it now.
Flick, he won't win the 2022 World Cup, but he'll win the.
It's too early for him.
He'll win the Euros.
It'll be Graham Potter's England. It'll be Graham Potter's England.
No, it won't.
I reckon Flick, if you give him the World, you'll have the World Cup, but he'll prepare for it really well. He'll switch it to a back four and he'll have a solid team. But I think if he gets his team firing really well, I reckon they could win the Euros afterwards. I don't think they'll win the next World Cup, but they could win the Euros. I think they're good enough for that.
So for manager of the season, are we going Moisey then?
Looks like it.
It seems like that's the vote. I can't argue with that. I mean, I understand why he's up there and why people rate him up there.
Let's go with David Moyes.
I would have Rodgers after David Moyes, respectfully, but I would have purely for the fact he changed it around.
Could you imagine this team, David Moyes trying to manage it and Brendan Rodgers the assistant going, they're beautiful people, they're great technicians.
That'd be so bloody funny.
So the team is for Premier League team of the season, or is it overall?
Premier League.
Premier League.
I'm thinking.
I don't watch enough foreign football to, and that's just me. I put my hands up. I'm not one of these YouTubers that say I watch it all. I don't. I watch England and the Premier League and the EFL, and that's about it.
I watch the German, I watch the Spanish, I watch the Italian leagues flat out. I don't particularly watch the French as much.
I watched never
been keen on
the
French
last
football.
game. I think it was the last game of the season. I think I watched Lille because they won the title, didn't they?
They did.
I managed about 45, 60 minutes of that, and then I turned it off. I couldn't do it anymore.
I'm glad they won it because the fact that Pochettino bottled a league title is music to my ears.
At least keep up with his Spurs tradition when he goes back in 3 days' time and it gets announced. I think that's a genuine big mistake if he goes back. None of the problems have changed.
Yeah.
What about? Oh God! I was actually thinking either sometime this week or next doing a. Oh God! Sometimes before the Euro starts, a Champions League team of the season.
I also want to point out, just for a funny comment, that Marcus Rashford finished as the third highest scorer in the Champions League, and he got eliminated at the group stage.
That's
mad.
I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
Just for the pure entertainment, that he got eliminated at the group stage, and he still finished as the third highest scorer.
It's that hat trick against Leipzig, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely done.
And the goal against PSG as well.
20 minutes to go bag a hat trick against Leipzig. I mean, that's impressive.
We should have got that bloody group. It's disgusting if we didn't.
Oh my God! I'm not even going to get you to talk through the defending against that Istanbul game already.
Right.
I'll kill myself.
Bench.
That was painful.
Okay.
I mean, goalkeeper's going to be Edison, right?
Okay, so we have.
And then you got Harry Maguire straight in there as well.
We agreed on that, yeah. We agreed on them too.
And Foden goes on the bench as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did agree.
Declan Rice. We agreed Declan Rice.
Who was the right back? I couldn't properly see.
Kufal.
Kufal.
So Van Bissaka will go on the bench as well?
Never contemplated it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm alright with that.
Okay, so who are we putting as the? So how many? So wait, how many?
Two defenders, two midfielders, one winger, and a striker.
Yeah, 7
Two
subs in there.
defenders. So we're going with
So-
Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
Maguire and Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka?
Maguire hasn't
I'm
got a
not- I'm
special
not against
card. Oh well. I'll go with this Champions League one.
Nipping just doing Harry Maguire the dirty there.
He didn't have a Champions League card. He didn't have a Champions League.
No,
he didn't have a card.
No, it was
like-
Nipping. It was the way you said Harry Maguire doesn't have a special card. Champions League it is.
I honestly didn't realize that, but okay. Who's the other defender?
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka.
Who has got a team of the season card?
Does he actually?
He does, yeah. How it's higher than Luke Shaw, it baffles me. There's no way it should be higher than Luke Shaw's card. I'm sorry, but no.
It's probably because of the assist that he got towards the end, maybe.
I know it's just wrong.
Right, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders. Okay, are we going to make this all United dominated? Just saying.
No, I think
So,
Declan Rice.
this is
Rice
Rice
and
and
Rice
It
Foden.
was Rice and Foden, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was Rice and Foden. I
Yeah.
suppose we'd best be putting like someone like Salah on the bench just in case Liverpool fans are watching.
Declan Rice.
Liverpool fans.
Don't want them to get too upset that they actually haven't got anyone in there.
I'm
Not that
right.
they
Oh,
deserve
I'm
All right,
right,
if that's the
Mark.
case, then we'll just put
And
James
white
Milner on
marks
the
for
bench.
Liverpool players.
Huh? What was that?
Phil
Joe Willock?
Foden.
He just wants to wind up Arsenal fans.
Ju-
It's beautiful.
To be fair, Joe Willock has been better than every Arsenal player put together, but I won't
He has.
go-
No, not better than Saka. Not better than Saka.
Oh, he has. Saka has been poor this season.
What
No,
the
just
hell?
last-
No, when
just-
did I ever say this? When did I ever say this?
To be fair,
No.
you do back Spurs to a degree, so I can't. But I don't know if you ever
What?
called them your third team.
Nipping. Surely you can't be a Chelsea fan
I
and
didn't say I
No,
backed
he-
Spurs. I didn't say I backed Spurs. I just said I never hated them.
He doesn't
Yeah.
consider them a rival, but we'll leave it at
Oh.
that.
Alright.
Yeah.
I was just about
'cause
to say,
I don't
that's-
hate them. Just because I
that's
don't
the
hate a team
equivalent.
doesn't mean I like it.
If we have to put a Liverpool player in there, I won't say their name, but I'll go along with it anyway.
Yeah, I think Salah goes in there.
They
Why
don't
not?
deserve. They don't deserve my respect, Liverpool. Like, but
Yeah.
I have to go along with it regardless.
Striker. I'm thinking
It's either Iñárritu or Cavani for me, or maybe Watkins.
I was just about to say Watkins, but I also think Bamford deserves a shout. Maybe not getting I just want to.
Bamford only gets recognition because everybody expected him to get the grand total of 0 Premier League goals because he's god awful. He's just had one flash in the pan season.
Yeah, but this is team of
Has
the
he
season.
really been at a good scoring rate for this season?
Not
Not
really.
really. He's
I
missed
don't
so
even
I
know
much.
how many he's got this
Hey,
year.
I
What
never
about
said
Ings?
I never said I was picking. I never said I was picking Bamford. I was just chucking him out there as an honourable shout.
Oh
What
no,
about Danny
I get
Ings?
where you-
Honourable
I get
mention,
where
Danny
you're coming
Ings.
Not this
Yeah, let's
season.
go
Danny Ings has been down.
Ings.
I
I
mentioned
would,
Danny Ings.
I would rather take a forward in Bale over Danny Ings because he's had more contributions.
I would honestly say for the bargain and for the fact that it took so long to take up such a world class striker and Man U have profited so well from him, I would genuinely have to begrudgingly say Cavani for the bench because you can't argue with that.
Yes,
That's
boy.
a hell of a
Eddie
season.
Cavani.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cavani as a striker, yes.
Yes,
I'm not
boy.
against-
We'll stick in that 90 card because it's beautiful. How good is that? A Leicester
Actually,
fan that's
can
not.
we-
Look at
I've
that.
got an
Last
idea
comment.
instead of Salah.
Last comment before you go, Niall. Just one quick
Reserve
comment before you go,
goalkeeper.
Niall. Look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah.
A Leicester
Reserve
fan. A
goalkeeper.
Leicester fan that's not corrupt. He said Cavani.
Also, I'm about to make your day even better. Can we take out Salah and put in Greenwood?
Yeah, baby.
Reece is
One
about to have a
second.
mild orgasm.
Can we genuinely do that? Because I actually quite like Greenwood. I think he's had a good end of the season.
Whoa, what
So-
the f is going on?
So my vote is I'm going to chuck Greenwood in instead of Salah.
I was filling up the reserve. So Salah out,
Oh, you're
Greenwood
actually
in.
putting in. Oh, you're putting in Mendy.
No.
Right, okay.
So can we
I'm not
have a vote and
overreacting.
take? Can we have a vote and take out Salah and put in Greenwood?
I'm all
vote
for it.
Greenwood.
I am
Okay.
for Salah.
Salah
I'd have
can,
to-
Salah
should
can
we change
dive his. Salah can
Hold
dive
on.
his way out of
What-
my team.
What's Brad saying?
I'd put anybody in over Salah. I just don't think.
Yes,
he's had a brilliant
boys.
season.
There we go. Greenwood gets in. This is beautiful. Now Liverpool fans gonna be triggered.
To be fair, the only Liverpool player you would actually put in there is what Box has just mentioned.
Who?
Which one was that?
Jota.
Nah,
Yeah, to be fair.
how can you say you won't put Salah when he almost won the Golden Boot?
Yeah.
But
Because all he's done all season is dived his way to a golden boot.
Mm.
The man's crap.
Yeah.
Dean Henderson would disagree.
Did we?
Dean
So did we
Henderson.
put? Did we have Greenwood put in? I just
We
want
was
to check.
talking about him for the main squad. We just didn't put him in because we favoured others over him.
Yeah.
We had Rashford
So-
over him, and then we wanted to find a way to
Greenwood
try and get.
is on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, I would put Greenwood in over Salah.
I hope so.
You could have Salah in the reserves if you want.
No,
Yeah.
no. Can we have him on the
why
at the
not?
part, you know,
Why not?
can we just
Give
pretend it's an
Liverpool
away
fans-
game and just keep him at home? Tell him he's not made the 25-man
Yeah.
squad.
Can we put Harvey Barnes instead of Salah, please?
I'd rather. I could put really old.
You are
I'd
triggering
triggering
them
him
so
so much.
all
This
of-
is too good.
All of
put
Look,
Ashley Barnes on instead. That's what he gets mistaken for. It'd make no difference to some people.
Also, can we have Chris Wood as a reserve striker, please? Because I quite like.
Oh
his
no,
Brexit
come on.
football.
We're not making Chris Wood the Ricky Lambert of this team.
I would
That's
make
not
Kelechi
good.
Iheanacho the reserve striker, to be honest.
That's a good shout.
Can we
not take both?
The
Too
Bamford-
many
Can we
not take
different
both?
answers.
Gundogan, yeah, Gundogan, Grealish. I think Gundogan deserves to get in this team somewhere because he's had a phenomenal season.
Mm.
There's
Can't
more
leave
than
out
enough space.
Gundogan. Gundogan's someone that we can't leave out. He's had a quality season.
Yeah, I hear that.
The thing is, like Liverpool, they've only started having a good end of the season. Like, even though Salah's got all those goals, like they were still average all season long. So I don't know why a Liverpool player deserves a mention.
No, they
I hear
don't. They've had a
But
giant paper.
If you had to choose one, it would probably either be Jota or Salah based on the numbers. But other than that, they've been average all season.
No,
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
say for his. I would say for absolute pure comedy gold and the fact that he's probably going to go down as one of the highest goal scoring goalkeepers with a goal to his name, Alisson. Just stick him on the bench. I mean, what he did
That is
against us was
house
so-
straight at its finest.
what he did, them errors he had were like Liverpool fans were coming out and saying he's falling like that. We're actually saying they'd rather have Adrian back in goal for the mistakes he was making. When Liverpool went on like that 6 games without winning at home, couldn't buy a win. That was he had some banterous moments.
What about Calvert-Lewin?
Mm.
He faded off though, didn't he? Kind of had a great start,
Yeah.
didn't do too much, and then picked it up again at the end.
Yeah,
If you're going to
Bamford
have him
scored
on
more
there,
goals.
it's between him and Danny Ings. If you're going to put him on the bench, one of them.
What are you
Ings
saying
not this
beyond the
season.
post?
I was saying this season Bamford had a better season than both of them overall. So I know people didn't expect him to score those many goals, but he got 17 in the Premier League. That's a good number.
I think that's fair, actually. Because another player I would have in this team, to be honest, is an exciting winger, and he goes by the name of Rafinha.
Mm-hmm. That's a shout.
Rafinha, I'll put him on the reserve then.
I think
Mhm.
Rafinha and Bamford deserve it. Yeah, I think they've had
Yeah.
phenomenal. Jack Grealish and Gundogan, I think, should complete the.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Grealish
Yeah.
and Gundogan should complete it. Just have a couple of midfielders and
Yeah.
Yeah,
striker and
I'm happy
goalkeeper as your
with what
reserves.
Reece has said.
get them 4 and swap Salah out for Iheanacho.
I've
Perfect.
already
We've,
done that.
we've already sacked Salah. He's got in there with Greenwood.
Yeah, Bamford. To be fair, I like Bamford. I thought like one team that ruined him, coincidentally, is the team that Nippon supports.
Yeah, look, Mourinho ruined him.
But no one else
Mourinho
used him
taxed.
afterwards as well. If you think
Chelsea
about it, like, no one else
ruined-
bothered to use him.
Chelsea went for a great period of just ruining youngsters' lives for fun.
It's the same as
Yeah.
what's his face?
Yet Joe
Mason
Butzel
Mount.
gets locked up.
Who's that? The former Newcastle striker. Adam Armstrong. Look at him. He's actually a decent striker, and he's been bumped around like a championship whore. Now he's sitting
He's
for
at
Blackburn.
Blackburn now, isn't he? Is he at Blackburn or has he moved
Yeah, he
from
scored
there?
like
Yeah, he
he
is,
scored
yeah.
like 20+ goals last season.
Yeah, but the biggest curse for a team is North London. North London clubs are always a curse for players. Every time a player leaves North London, they win trophies.
That's fair. That is fair.
But
I suppose
watched
when you've got like
Jack
I
Harrison.
suppose when you've got like Mikel
Mm.
Arteta as a manager, of course it's going to be peak for you.
That's
Yeah.
a good shout by Box. What do you think, Jack Harrison?
Yeah, I'm not against the idea.
There's a few
I
Leeds
think-
players I think that do deserve
Yeah.
a mention. For me, like the obvious ones for me would be Calvin Phillips, Rafinha, Bamford, Harrison is there. There's another midfield. There's a central midfielder. I can't remember his name. It's more of like he was like their box-to-box midfielder. I can't remember his fucking name.
Klitsch.
That's it. I think
Klitsch.
he's had a good season.
This will just be Leeds United, won't it?
Well, it's only the bench, you know.
It'd be interesting to see what they do next year. If they get a top centre back, and then maybe they do need a better midfield. They do need a better backup striker.
Koch chose for Germany, by the way.
I know, it's disgusting. Please do not remind me. The fact that he got picked and Julian Weigl got blanked for a midfield is disgrace. Koch is shit.
Right, lads, I'm gonna.
But there's so many good midfielders already. Kimmich, Goretzka, Gundogan, Kroos.
I'd still have Weigl in there. Like, for
who?
Weigl, I would have him in there over fucking Emre Can.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot Emre.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to head off anyway, guys. So it's been fun building this with you a bit.
Good seeing you,
mates. And I will no doubt catch you on someone else's podcast in a few times. You guys, I've seen you.
Yeah.
Do a lot with both of you. See you in a bit, guys.
Catch you in a bit, bro.
Yeah, bye.
I think one of the reasons Emre Can is in that squad is because he can also play as a defender and a midfielder if there is a need.
That's what Weigl can does as well. Like, Weigl can play CDM, centre mid, and he can play centre back. The fact that he got overlooked for Emre Can is disgusting.
It also maybe depends a bit on the manager having a trust. Like in this case, he has, because he's been playing regularly with Lowe, so I think that could be one of the reasons. If it was two new players coming in, I think it could have been a 50-50. Look at how Deschamps chooses his players. He doesn't give other players chances. Like, I personally feel this time Lacazette probably could have gone into that squad.
Not good enough. No one wanted him.
Yeah, no one wanted Salah.
I get your point. It is a shame, because he has a good player. In fact, he's now playing regularly for Benfica as well.
If it helps Liverpool fans, we'll make Salah the drinks boy. We'll make him bottle boy or water boy. Right?
I wouldn't mind having like maybe one player, but I think I would have Jota. To be honest, I think Jota I think he was the better player.
Actually, can we take Fabinho? Can we put Fabinho instead of Jota? Because I actually think Fabinho was class for Liverpool this year.
I'm inclined to agree with that, to be honest.
Now, if we have to pick any of them, I think Fabinho has been the better of them all.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I'm not against that. That's the squad.
So
that's fair. That's not unless you swap, because you could inadvertently swap and put Fabinho on the bench and put Rice in the reserve.
Yeah, but that's all semantics, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one or the other, but
yeah,
there's so many options.
Just keep it as is, isn't it? Although that team, hold on.
Over Fabinho, I would have taken probably Fernandinho.
Nah. I think Fabinho's been brilliant this year. I mean, man's had to play centre back and DM, and he's done brilliantly in both.
See, Davey agrees with me saying Jota, so I'll take that. That's what we could do then. We could swap out. That's what I'm willing to do then. I'm willing to swap out, even though he's my mention, I'm willing to swap out Rafinha for Jota.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Rafinha's been fantastic, I'm willing to swap out Rafinha for Diogo Jota.
Well, we've got Mount. Mount. We've got Greenwood on the bench, so you could take out Bamford and put in Jota.
So keep Rafinha.
Yeah.
But I've already taken him out.
No, sorry, just put Jota in. Just put Jota in.
Yeah, just put Jota in.
We'll swap out Bamford, and we'll swap out Bamford. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's because I think that's fair. Yeah.
I need to get rid.
Box. I've heard some of that. Yeah, Daka from Salzburg to Liverpool. I've been hearing a lot about that, and it would be a very good. Patson Daka. Yeah, Liverpool are strongly after him. They're close. Kanate had a stinker today.
Imagine if he came to Arsenal and Saka didn't leave. Zaka didn't leave. Saka, Daka, Laka. Zaka.
Daka. You'd be singing songs all day. It'd be funny.
Oh, jeez, that would be. Arsenal is such a joke at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing a left winger. Where's
put him back in? I think what you could. Yeah, I think what we could do is maybe we rethink have him as a starting left winger. Maybe we have Rashford on the bench.
Okay, who do we have as starting left winger?
I would probably say put Jota in the starting lineup because his impact was greater.
Yeah, but he went missing when he got.
But he was injured. Yeah, he was quite injured for quite a long time.
Yeah, fucking put him. Yeah, fucking leave him where he is.
No. Put Rashford back in the starting 11.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to be diplomatic. I forgot I'm not a diplomatic person. So yeah.
Yeah, Reese is trying to be too nice to Liverpool fans right now.
Yeah, frankly, why should I?
Yeah, that guy on the bench. Who was it?
I can't remember. Look,
that was Cavani.
Yeah, Cavani. So put in Cavani on the bench, and then take out Jota from. Yeah, take out Jota from the starting 11, and put in Rashford.
Yeah, why am I being too nice? Like, what the hell?
I've no idea. It made no sense.
I know. I shouldn't be like that. That's never how I roll.
Come on, why won't this thing work now? Come on.
It's because it's thinking it's being abused.
Yeah.
I think there should be a limit to the number of players like FPL that you can pick from a single club. So there is some balance as well.
The same fantasy football.
That just gets that will get too confusing. Maybe you've got too many players. Maybe you need to try taking out like Jota and seeing if you can put in. Maybe you just got too many players.
You just tried to get Liverpool player out for the chills.
He's not able to open the tab. That is his problem. For some reason.
Get what's his first? Get Cavani back in that team.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I think you've got. I think you've got. Nippin, I think you've got too many players in there.
Too many Manchester United players?
No, just too many players. Take out Jota. Try taking out Jota because no one.
Let me take a picture. Reload the thing. And
no, Nippin. Don't
reload.
Don't worry about that. Just take out Jota, and then put in Cavani.
He's out.
And then move. Yeah, no, I mean on the bench. So just take out Jota. No one really cares about Jota. Just take him out and then put in Cavani, and then jobs are good in them. And then move Cavani into that
bench role.
Yeah, I think you just move Cavani there, don't you? So you're on Greenwood on the bench as well.
Where's my home? Oh wait, what happened to one of our defensive midfielders? The defensive midfielders bought. Decided to go. Kante's gone swimming.
We'll get to that in a second. Then click the bottom one, and then put in Greenwood,
and then we can fix the last position, which should be fine.
Yeah. There you go. And then scroll down. If you scroll down quickly.
Why did another block now get empty?
Yeah. Nippin, scroll down.
It's broken.
Right to the bottom.
Broken.
Scroll down.
Right, and then move Greenwood onto the bench. So move Greenwood into that spot there. Yeah. And then try and put and then ignore that one. And then try and put we know who it is anyway. It was Kante.
It was Kante, yeah.
Don't worry about it, Nippin. It's not like you're going to post it on Twitter, are you?
This one was meant to be Jota.
Yeah.
It's just decided to. Fuck knows why.
It's probably decided.
It's just decided I hate people.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll just note down who we've got. So I'll note who. Right, so scroll up a wee bit.
Right.
So just scroll up to the first team, and I'll just take a picture of the first team, and then we can just reload it and add everyone back in.
He needs to.
Right, so scroll up to that first team. Yep.
So that's meant to be Kante.
Right, got that. Go down to the reserves and the bench.
And that one is meant to be Jota.
That's fine. So if you want to reload it, we can go again because I've got each player, and I'll just tell you who's in what position.
Right.
And we'll just go from Apologies, guys. Like this thing is absolutely shite. It's worse than Arsenal's season.
Oh my god.
Arteta is in the mud.
Never asked. Beyond the post, what team do you actually support, by the way?
I support Arsenal.
Oh, you support Arsenal?
Yeah,
Unlucky after that season.
that's okay.
Are you Arteta in or Arteta out?
I'm Arteta in.
Nipping
Why?
that'll be interesting. Right, 4-2-3-1 brackets 2. Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I'm all for that, by the way.
I wonder, does this let you take control of the screen? If so, do you want me to quickly fill it in? Does it let you pass
I think
over
it only
control?
allows the host. I think it only allows the host. So Kufau.
Centre backs were Ruben Diaz and Fofana.
I can see there is a slot for the manager as well, and yeah, that is
We're
also
getting to
Moyes.
that.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
Luke Shaw. Tielemans.
Bruno. Because I don't want to be murdered.
I don't see no wild goal players in there. Why is this? I'm being sarcastic again.
This is Premier
Although
League,
you
not League
N'Golo
could,
Kante, yeah.
to be fair, you could put Joe Edwards at right back. He'd probably smash it over Trent.
I can't believe the amount of times he lost the ball this season. That's appalling for a player.
I would still take Trent to Euros, but Joe
How can you
Edwards
lose
is
the
that.
ball 986 times in a domestic season? That is not normal.
Kane.
How many times did Fred lose it?
Not as much as fucking Trent.
Jesus, that's surprising for Fred.
Kane.
Like, he did lose the ball a lot, but the fact that Trent as a right back lost the ball well over 900 times is wrong. Like, you can't have that as a right back. Like, that's criminal behaviour.
Who did we have on the left, on the right?
On the right, we had
Mount.
Mason Mount,
Mount.
because we're being generous to you, the Chelsea fan.
Oh God.
Right, on your bench, it's Ederson.
Ederson. No.
Followed by Maguire.
Why does he not have a team of the season card?
He never got one. And then followed up by what you would call him, Wan Bazooka. Because I've heard you call him that a few times, which is funny.
Maybe it's just my accent, but okay.
No, you called him Bazooka. I remember
Did
the first
I?
show we were on, you called him Aaron Wan Bazooka.
Isn't he
maybe
tied
I
like
was a
the?
bit tired.
Isn't he tied with Luke Shaw as your fourth highest assist giver this season?
Yes.
Both are at 6. I read that.
Luke Shaw's been absolutely amazing this year, but Wan-Bissaka needs to improve going forward. In midfield, it's Fabinho and Foden.
Bruno had the highest. I think second was maybe Pogba, was it? And third and fourth.
Not this one, because he's a centre
the guys.
back in this. Fab.
Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw were, I think, 4th and 5th.
You know what? I'm just going to change his position. I'm just going to convert the position to CDM. If that's even possible.
Just leave it as is. The name is enough. You don't want to break footprints again, like Jesus.
Yeah, can't go through that again. Foden. And then Greenwood.
And then Cavani.
C. And then your reserves, it's Mendy, Rice, Grealish, Rafinha, Jota. That pissed me off when that card was available on Ultimate Team. I tried to get that Cavani card in and bolted. I couldn't get it. I was raging. I didn't get the buy Foot Birthday card either. I would have had a quality just all United team on Ultimate Team, but they screwed me over. Dickheads.
Okay. In reserves, I put Mendy as the goalkeeper.
Yep. I'm actually willing to sacrifice Rafinha for Saka, to be honest, because I think he did have a great season for Arsenal. To be honest,
No,
he's the only Arsenal player I would actually allow in this team.
Nah. We're not allowing Arsenal players.
It's a panel decision. It's a panel decision.
I still said Rafinha, but if there was an Arsenal player in, it would only be Saka, in my opinion.
I want to stick with Rafinha. I want to stick.
So who was the
Rice?
So who was the
Rice Cakes.
There is no way a team that's finished 8th deserves anyone in here when they're, a big club.
Jack Grealish.
Aston Villa finished below us.
Yes.
Yes, but Aston Villa aren't a big club. Like,
Yeah, but that is the thing. When you're going into player performances, you're going as an individual, how they perform.
Yeah, but all of your players underperformed. Like, even Saka.
The last two is Rafinha and Jota nipping when you got second.
The only time Saka was underperforming was when he was tired at the end of the season.
Therefore, he can't get in because he underperformed at the end of the season. I'm brutal, mate. I am brutal when it comes with these.
Wait, Saka or who was the other one?
Jota, I think. It was Jota, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could have Saka over Jota and wind up Liverpool fans.
Nah, man.
Which is beautiful.
Nippin just doesn't want to put an Arsenal player in there as well. That's a team. That team wins.
But we have got
Champions League.
Fabinho in there, so frankly, even though Liverpool were shite, Arsenal were shite, but we allowed Fabinho, so frankly, we should allow Saka, even though Arsenal were dog shit.
Oh well, yeah. Let's put Saka there then as well. Then. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's broken. It's
Yes, yes, boys. Sorted.
Right. So
Wait, it's not broken now. We can do it. It's not broken now. We can do it. Let's go.
Okay, it's not showing the panel.
Yeah,
There
it's
is.
broken. Oh.
No, the panel is, I think, on the last one, the left.
Shall I change it? Shall I
Yeah,
change
hit
it
that.
to Saka?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying nothing.
Saka. Oh.
There you go. Right, Mick. What Wan-Bissaka got?
Oh, fuck's
And
sake.
it just happened again.
Oh, we already know
just-
it's Marcus
just-
Rashford.
Just leave it. Just
We all know
leave
it's
it.
Marcus Rashford.
That's because you tried putting
Okay,
in an
stop
Arsenal player in there.
sharing. Stop sharing.
I told you it was a bad move to put an Arsenal player in there. It broke footprints again.
Right. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome, mate.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I might be doing a I don't know if it's going to be this week or the week after, but before the Euros. Yeah, before the Euros, I'm hoping to do a Champions League team of the season.
I'm taking it easy before the Euros because I'm doing watch-longs for pretty much all the games, and I've got a Euro show on a Monday and an England show
So,
on a Friday night.
so I think it'll
No.
be this week if it happens.
Mm.
So are either of you down for that? Reese, Niall, BTP?
Depends on time and day, really.
Yeah, I'll be
Just
doing a
message-
stream. I'll be doing a stream tomorrow about Portugal, the European champions. So,
Yeah.
I'll be covering like
DM.
every single big team like throughout the week until the Euros start. So more or less every squad that has been announced, including England. And just a story for you guys. I think there is some movement probably going to happen because if Allegri is not going to Real Madrid, Ancelotti is now being linked. He's linked. Ancelotti is being linked if he wishes to move away from Everton.
With Allegri going back to Juventus, which is fucking brain dead, takes a sabbatical for pretty much 2 years just to go back to Juve. Clown.
Yeah,
I think-
Nippin, just message me, like DM me a time, and I'll see if I'm.
If Ancelotti goes back to Real Madrid, fair play to him.
So yeah, I'm thinking Thursday evening.
Might be free. It might.
Reese?
I'm not. I'm on a podcast with Richard.
I might be on that pod. Oh, I might have to think of a different day because I think I'm scheduled to be on that very podcast.
Are you? If you are, fair enough.
Okay, but yeah, I might pick a different day. Then.
We can plan that.
Just DM me.
I'm gonna create a Twitter group, and then I'll add you all to it.
Okay.
That works.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so that you never miss a new stream or video. Reese, would you like to shout out your socials?
Thanks for having me on. It's Twitter at United Venom 7, and if you're into Twitch gaming, it's Reese_Lightning1997.
Niall?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Niall_PAFC or Let's Talk EPL, and you can find me on YouTube at Let's Talk Premier League, covering all the Euros, all watch-alongs doing like Scotland, and we've got like a Euros show Monday evening. So get in tune for that one. Talking all of the nations on that day. Well,
and beyond the posts.
Yeah, thank you, Nipun, for having me on. You can find me on Beyond the Posts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also check out my pages on Facebook, Arsenal FC Fans, Troll Football Generation. And we'll be doing a few, as I said, Euros-based shows. We'll be dissecting all the squads that are going to be playing the tournament and have been announced. And we'll be doing it till the start of the Euros. So thank you once again for having me on, and big up to all you guys.
Okay, I'm about to end the broadcast now. Peace, everyone.